Hey friends, amid all the reflections and glare and noise in the background, I'm going to try to talk a little bit about the Severums and their social hierarchies in this tank. Anybody that's followed my channel knows that I do videos often on the dominant pair or the dominant couple in this tank, and they spawn sometimes once a month, sometimes every 2 months, but they spawn and they put a lot of effort into the process, the guarding, the pairing, the actual spawning itself, and I have often said that I think that that's more important to them than actually spawning and raising fry. However, the female is a gold red spot and the male is a turquoise red spot, and she's a few years older than him, and he's probably 4 to 5 years old now, so she's coming up on 7, 8 years old and beginning to show her age a little bit, but none of the other Severums, and there are several in this tank. There's one, nobody else right in the area right now, and the reason is these two guys, or these two, have paired up. The male obviously in the front there, and the female in the back. And easy to see by the body shape. The male has a taller profile. His dorsal fin extends beyond his tail, and that's one of the easiest ways with Severums to tell. She looks like she could be a male, but her dorsal does not extend past her tail. So that's the easiest way I've found to sex these fish. And when you know that little trick, there's a female. And by the way, I bought 4 or 5 of these guys, maybe 3 or 4 years ago. That one there looks like it's all dressed up just fine as well. As tank mates, and assumed, they were probably quarter sized, that they were from the same spawn and that kind of thing, and their colorations have borne that out. There's a turquoise in front, that's the female, and one of my favorite colorations, and then a male turquoise red spot. So really gorgeous fish, and I think they're probably siblings. Anyway, they were raised together from the time they were tiny. He's bigger than my hand, and she's almost as big as my hand. When you put your hand there, you're still 6 inches, 8 inches from the fish, so it looks a lot bigger than the fish, so that really doesn't give you an accurate depiction unless your hand's in the tank beside them. But yeah, they've spawned, and I saw him go over the eggs. They've spawned on this rock in the midst of all these large fish. And I only found that they had spawned this morning. A couple of days ago, I saw them doing some courting, and her tail's accordingly chewed up a little bit. That happens. I was just putting a snack in. Sorry for all those tanks back there, but I'm working with them and feeding, so I'm not going to turn them off for a video. The Pacu just had some almonds and some cashews and a little bit of dried fruit, which the other fish don't care for at all, so they spit it out if they happen to grab a piece. So they've had a nice snack, and a few pieces fell down to the bottom accordingly, so they went down to get them, and they were promptly removed by the little female. Seems to be the most protective. She's moving that big Geophagus, which is the one I just brought from Ginger Graves, so we could break the tank down and bring it here as well. But yeah, that's what's going on. And that's why I'm saying that I'm thinking they're passing the torch. That's the fourth one back there. I didn't get to see it, too much glare. And its color is different too. And then I have one that's blind that you guys have seen me hand feed. There's one right there where we already looked at, obviously a red shoulder. But yeah, it's amazing how the genes can produce such different fish if they are from the same spawn, and I believe they told me they were. But yeah, there are two more, so there are 5 of them. I suppose I should show that couple just for a reference for size, and there's the one that we weren't seeing, and not the blind one. I think that's the one we were seeing. Actually, that is the one that's partially blind, but it can see out of the left side. You can see silhouettes and stuff. You can see to come to me. It's a beautiful fish. You can see to come to me, but you can see its right eye's messed up. A little giraffe, pygmy giraffe cat peeking out there to see if any food failed. But yeah, let's get on over here and find these guys. There's the last one. Beautiful Sebrums. Well worth all the time. Uh-oh. I did not know this. I did not know this. This is new since this morning. This is the pair that I was just talking about that are getting older. And the lighting's bad down here. Let's see if I can adjust it. Meaning pull the light over this way more. Let's see if that helps a little. Yeah. So he is a beautiful, beautiful dark green. And he's a red spot as well. And she was my first Sebrum in this group, and she's a gold red spot. And back then, 8 years ago or so, they were quite expensive, so it was an investment to get her. And some of these eggs have already started to turn. You can see, I think there's a fertilization issue with them, but they always eat them the second day. So wow, what are the odds of that? I just wanted to show them. And she was quite, she's still a beautiful fish, but you can see her fins are, well, some of it's from this spawning that I actually didn't know. As you can see, he's a huge, huge fish. And he dotes on her. Poor little tail's all chewed up. I'm gonna put a little salt in here. So, got to see 2 spawns. And see, they protect the spawn and all that, but it'll be gone in the morning, if not the next morning. We even got a big cat laying over here that's well aware that those eggs are there. He's a little bit shy sometimes. Gosh, we're at 9 minutes, guys. I'm sorry. But yeah, there you go. I just wanted to kind of update on the passing of the torch, but it looks like they're not quite finished yet. Appreciate you guys, and thanks for your patience.